They said, let's start the story for real. Don't forget, if you haven't liked yet, go ahead and like it to show your support, and subscribe while you're at it. And if you haven't turned on the notification bell, turn it on. If it's already on, turn it off and on again, and so on. Now, let's get started with the story. The story begins. We see Jack Frosto emerge from beneath frozen water, saying the first thing he saw was darkness, and he felt fear and cold. But as soon as he saw the light of the moon, he felt reassured, like when you see my light. Anyway, Jack Frosto comes out from under the water, and he finds that anything he touches turns to ice. He keeps skating around happily and discovers that he has a talent for ice. God bless him. He walks for a minute, ends up in a city, and becomes invisible when he asks, where is this place? No one can see him, and people walk through him at the North Pole. 300 years after what I just told you, we see North, who is basically Santa Claus, but we'll just call him North. He's sitting in his house preparing gifts for the kids who will get them on Christmas Day. Yeah, Santa Claus. Then his assistant calls and tells him to come over. So North goes. There's a model of the Earth with lights over the continents. The lights go out, black sand appears, forming a person, then disappears. And here, North realizes that something is wrong and that the danger has returned again. Then he calls his assistants to check on the situation, and these assistants are with their friends. Then there's Mayman, the king of the tooth fairies. Or tooth, meaning actual teeth, not the one in your head. She also has Sandymano, who gives children sweet dreams, along with Esther, Bannerman, and the rabbit. Easter is celebrated with his friends and helpers. North wants to make children happy, so they gather at his place, where he urges them to unite against an old enemy threatening the children. His name is Pitch Black, but not the Pitch from Nag or the Friends. Don't get me wrong. I mean, get me right. Don't misunderstand me, man. What's going on? Pitch is the one who's pitch black, dark, and tough from the inside like that. The key is this person is returning, and we must stop him. He explains what happened and that something truly evil is planned. But compared to the name, Banny says I'm acting silly like a duck, but that's not true. The horse festival's in 2 days, and I need to work, finish the house, and handle the Tooth Fairy. She agrees and tells North they can't quit their jobs or abandon the children. It's just because he saw something different. And he's also not really sure if what he's saying is right or wrong. Suddenly, a blue genie emerges from underground and announces that the Earth has chosen Shaq Frost as its new guardian. And the one in the valley kept flying and running, moving from place to place with his stick, spreading snow everywhere. Anyway, he eventually reaches a group of kids playing together and tries to mess with them a bit with the snow. Then he stops and watches. There's a boy named Jimmy who's excited about losing his tooth because he wants to see the Tooth Fairy. As kids, if your tooth fell out, you'd either put it under your pillow or toss it toward the sun, saying, "Oh, sun, take the cow's, doll's, or buffalo's tooth." I don't know what would make something stand up in the air. Jack was upset then because he wanted someone to love him, wondering why everyone loves the Tooth Fairy. So Jimmy goes home and sits on the couch with his little sister, whose name is Sophie. He tells her that he's really happy and that the joy, hey Jack, he's only happy because the Tooth Fairy is going to take his tooth today. At that time, Jack was standing outside the house, watching them through the window, and he was really upset. No one remembers him. He keeps thinking to himself about what exactly he should do so that kids would notice him, realize he's there, and love him just like they love the coins. And at that time, the others, Pitch Black, the king of nightmares, is trying to give them bad dreams. The little girl is sleeping and having nightmares. Imagine a small family sleeping and having nightmares, and he keeps going. Jack is walking by himself, thinking about this whole thing in the street, about how he can make people love him, when suddenly, Bunny shows up out of nowhere, literally. Bunny brings him in a sack to North's. So when Jack, the king of friends, sees him, North says, "You're here for something important." Jack thinks it's because of his trouble, but North explains, "That's not our topic now. We'll discuss it later." He said, "That's not our issue. The king of friends is here for planet Earth. Why did he choose you as a guardian?" And the opposite is expected, but Jack doesn't agree. Can you imagine? He's supposed to agree, but he doesn't, claiming that he's not up to the responsibility. I mean, the guy thinks highly of himself and is a bit arrogant, and he wants to be completely free. Whatever he wants to do, he does it, and that it's impossible for him. He lives their life, that overly routine life, and he gets really angry at this guy, telling him, "You have nothing to do with what we're doing, and the life you don't want to live is just fine for me. At least they make us look good in front of people, and all the kids love us. No one knows your origins like they do others." He didn't spit, but it seemed like he wanted to. So we send Jake to speak to him calmly in his office, face to face. "Look, son, I was made guardian of the land because I love making children happy, and I'm strong." And he's trying to find out from him why he was chosen this time, but Jake himself doesn't even know why he was chosen. They keep moving forward. I mean, the place and what they do in their job. And Jake starts to understand things more. Then Bunny comes and tells them that there's a disaster happening with the Tooth Fairies, and they need to go immediately. They all go and find that the tooth fairies, they were kidnapped. Niall is crushed and loved. Jake saves a fairy after Pitch Black uses a black horse to kidnap fairies. They rescue the tiny fairy and give her to the Fairy King. Why teeth? Anyway, does Pitch Black appear after that? He's really proud that he can make the whole Guardians team gather just so he can come and beat them. Of course, Tooth is very upset because she wants her fairies. And she also wants the children's teeth that Pitch Black stole. When she asks, he says, "Mom, nothing works." After that, there are no teeth or fairies left. Bunny then tells him, "Yaz, Ashi, I'm not scared of you, and no one is anymore since you vanished long ago. So, good morning, what are you even doing? You're basically a nobody." He replies and says, "Honestly, you're right, but all of that is going to change." We learn that Pitch Black was once Earth's guardian, though he was somewhat evil, and he made all the kids have really bad and scary nightmares. And since everyone was afraid, he was replaced by Nora's, so that happiness would start to spread among people, kids, and everywhere over time. No one remembers Pitch Black now, and no one fears him. He was completely forgotten. But after all these years, he decided to come back and take revenge on all of them. He's planning to stop Christmas and Easter, and might even stop the Tooth Fairy. His goal is to let the boogeyman make everyone live in fear. As the people's chosen leader, he'll make Norris and his gang seem forgotten. After his speech, he leaves with his horse, Jack, and sits with Tooth. And he finds out from her that she's very upset about the teeth that Pitch took from her, because children's teeth and those people's teeth are full of memories from when they were little until they grew up. So Pitch wants to make people's and children's memories bad and scary. After that, Jack sits and wonders if he even has any memories, and he wishes he could remember his childhood or what happened to him in the first place. And he wants to know who he really is. He can't remember anything since we first saw him come out of the lake. Jack is very upset and sad that he can't access his memories now because Pitch Black stole all the teeth, including his own. Afterward, they all gather to organize their thoughts. I have an idea, which is that we should hurry and collect the children's teeth from around the world. This time, so we can make their memories good. Basically, we bring new teeth. We fix everything, and then the kids might think no one is human. So, it seems they'll travel the world to gather the teeth. At that time, Pitch Black finds out what they're doing and compares it. He won't leave them alone, and his mission has to succeed, not theirs. After that, they all gather at Jamie's house. And when he first sees them, he's really happy and can't believe they're right in front of him. He gets to know all of them, but they don't know him. "Who are you, Jack?" Jack gets upset when he sees no one knows him. Is this who he really is? Is it enough for him? Pitch Black arrives and attacks. They defend themselves until he gets to Jack and speaks to him. He says he's surprised Jack sides with North and his group, since Jack doesn't even know who he really is. He says, "Trust me and stay, and I'll restore your memories and reveal who you truly want to be." But here in the desert, Jack disagrees and Sandman fights Pitch Black, but Pitch Black kills Sandman. Jack then creates a huge storm to stop Pitch Black, but it fails, and he escapes. So, as I said, Sandman dies. They hold his funeral at North's headquarters, and everyone is genuinely sad. I felt bad for Sandman too. He was a good, respectable, quiet man. I didn't want him to die. Later, Jack sits alone, saddened by it all. So he goes to North and tells him not to be too hard on himself, and that what happened wasn't his fault at all. Manny then tells everyone that tomorrow's Easter. Wahidabuko says, "I just need your help to do my job smoothly today." They all agree, and they start moving together to his place to prepare his famous house. Beloe suddenly arrives with the girl, joined by Sophie and Oct Jimmy, who don't know her origin. "If you brought your mother, then who brought you?" They talk briefly. She tries to comfort and reassure her, but the girl stays afraid and keeps obeying the other. "Yes, take care of your daughters." Afterward, Jack says, "Leave me, I'll take her home myself." But they all stay until she falls asleep. Then Jack takes her home while she's calm, accompanied by a tiny tooth fairy. Later, as Jack wanders the forest with the fairy, they hear a strange voice and fly off to follow it. He finds himself in the place where the fairies have taken him, surrounded by all their teeth. In that place, there are also people's memories, and all the teeth are there, each one holding memories. So, the two things are connected as one. Afterward, Pitch Black appears, telling him no one will appreciate or care about what he's doing. Pitch Black then returns his memories and leaves. Jack is confused by what happened. Suddenly, he returns to Bunny's place to find it destroyed and the day ruined. Jack sees his memories with Bunny. They claim he sided with Pitch Black to ruin the day for his memories and can't be trusted. Jack is understandably very upset and hurt. "Come on, man, I didn't do anything." Meanwhile, Jamie tells his friends about seeing the Sandman in the sleigh. They don't believe him, saying, "No way, man, we only see nightmares." Jack and his friends then confront Pitch Black. Pitch Black says, "Stick with me. No one remembers us, but together they will my way." Jack refuses, so Pitch Black threatens, "Give me your ice staff or I'll kill the fairy." At that moment, he was holding the fairy in his hands, so Jack gives him the staff so he won't kill her. And then Pitch hits him. He leaves quickly. Later, when Jack wakes, he also hears. Someone calls out to him, but it's actually from the thing that has his memories in his teeth. When he holds it, he realizes that he had a family and a little sister. And one day, when they were going to play in a frozen pond, both of them were on the ice. And the ice was about to break under the girl. She was about to fall and die. But Jack catches her, saves her, and falls into the pond himself and dies. This way, Jack remembers his memories and understands what happened to him that day. And that's why he was chosen to be the guardian of the earth. After that, he starts to go back to rejoin the team, and on the way, he passes by Jimmy and finds him sitting and talking. We said he's a kid who's upset because everyone dismisses what he sees as imagination, doesn't believe him, and mocks him. So at that moment, Jack wanted to cheer him up, so he made him a little game. He created some shapes out of ice and carved out the shape of a rabbit and all those things. And he finds out that the kids heard him, saw him, and even knew about him too. Jack is thrilled and keeps talking to them. He asks the Easter Bunny, who's been visiting a long time. Then North arrives and Bunny shrinks. He's upset about what happened, and fewer people believe in him now. Asa is on the bus, everything's a mess. Jamie says, "It doesn't matter. I believe in you all because of Jack." Bunny's happy. Pitch Black then arrives with his army, so Jack starts thinking to himself at that moment. He tells Jamie they should gather their friends to kill Pitch Black and pretends they're reuniting after a long battle. Sandman, still alive, appears and helps defeat Pitch Black, spreading Sandman. Happiness spreads throughout the whole city, of course. They spread happiness, helping the children who believe in Uncle Jack, and his group's words gave them strength. Anyway, as I said, Pitch Black is defeated, and they manage to finish him off in the end. They tell him no one will believe in him because he's evil and the son of an evil guy. Though they didn't use those words, that's how I felt about it. He doesn't need to be insulted. That's not the point. Razak gives Jack a share to show he's on board to help the children, and Jack agrees. Then Jack says goodbye to Jimmy and tells him, "My son will always be here in your heart." After that, they all leave. This is literally the happy ending. And that's it, my friend Toda. The story's over.